Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Industry Chats. I cannot believe it's already another Wednesday. So last week we had a really awesome episode with our friend Ruby over at Room Price Genie. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. It is on our YouTube. She brought some amazing stats and we talked a lot about your hotel distribution, utilizing those channels for local events, utilizing partnerships like your local CVBs. It was so good. It was 40 minutes of gold. So if you have not watched, go back to last week's episode. Next week, we will also have our partner, Stacey Lawson, on from Stay in Touch. And I can't wait to reveal her topic. So stay tuned for our LinkedIn announcement tomorrow. It's not AI, so we have a new topic. And today I'm excited because we have a different kind of conversation going. So I have our lovely COO. You have so many. I'm like, which title do I use? COO, co-founder, all of the things. Stephanie. Hi, Steph. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, how long has it been since I've been on Industry Chats? And I don't even know. I did not search my calendar to find out. But
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You hosted for us last
with
year
Alex.
with
that
Alex.
was a long time. Yeah.
I think it was like a year ago.
Oh my gosh.
Or so. Well, maybe I was at the beach, so maybe June. It was a long time ago.
Just over here behind the scenes, working away, no biggie.
You're doing amazing. You're doing so much. And normally we have coffee while we chat, and then I got iced tea today, so I feel weird not having coffee. Did you bring your coffee?
No, I have water. I'm coffee
Who
down
are we?
already. I know.
Oh my goodness. I need to make more. Well, I obviously can't wait to have this conversation. It's so easy having you on because we talk all day, every day. So like we just get to talk. But for those tuning in, Stephanie and I have a really unique story of how we got to this point. And I hope in a year we have more to add to that story and then more and more. But we had this conversation that, you know, we talk a lot on LinkedIn and things like that, but we don't really know if people realize like some of the doors that have opened and all of the crazy things that have woven together to even get us here. So we want to talk about that today. And at the end, if you stick around, we do have a little fun teaser of something that's coming that we haven't like fully announced yet. So I'm going to kick us off with a brief history lesson. Women's history. Is it Women's History Month now?
It is. All of
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Stephanie is helping me. So Women's History Month. Let's give you our history. So back in 2021, which is insane, I had an idea as I was getting my kids ready to go to the zoo. And the idea was Affixify, but we didn't have a name for it. Stephanie and I were actually whiteboarding a plan together for a business. So we thought we would be consultants, but we were like meeting, talking, what could we do? I was consulting at that time. She was doing COO work for another company. And we were talking, and I'm sitting at my computer one morning and I'm like, wait, this is an idea. Like, here's the idea. So I called her. I mean, that was literally how it went. I have like kids running around and I called you and I'm like, I have an idea. What do you think? And your exact words, I'll never forget. You're like, oh, so like a platform, like a software. And I'm like, yeah, I think we should build a software. And then you were like, well, that's great. Like, that's pretty much it. And then this started this whole thing. So even though we've only been around like not even 2 full years, like this started a long time ago with an idea before the zoo and a phone call.
So that was 5 years ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. It was November 2021 when I made that call. Wow. And then it was February 2022 when we brought in our developer.
Yeah.
And so a couple highlights, and then I want to hear from you because I don't need to talk all the time, is, you know, we brought in, I asked Stephanie, like, who's going to build this? We're not developers. And then she immediately said this person that is now our CIO, CTO. He's very behind the scenes.
The main guy.
The main guy. And we took him to breakfast at the Omni because they have like a good meeting area for free.
If you're with Omni, steal their event space. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry if you're with Omni watching this. You should call us. But no, there's like a nice event meeting space up there. So we're like, let's go have their breakfast buffet, which is very good, or lunch. And we made like a very homemade deck. And
I think it was the stick figures.
Yeah.
Right?
Figures, yes.
We showed the customer journey with stick figures.
Yes.
I can't draw. So I'm like, here, we got little Joe stick figure guy.
Stick figures. And I had like a polka dot notebook. Like, what do you think?
This was
Yes or
before
no?
ChatGPT could build up my images
Yeah.
for me.
Yes, because you worked really hard on the stick
I
figures.
did.
So Stephanie, okay, so we show him. I don't think we can use his name. Can we use his name? It
I'd
will
be
just
respectful. Like he
yeah,
likes
we
to
won't
be
use his
behind the
name. He's
scenes.
very behind the scenes. So we tell him, and he actually says like, "This is such a good idea," and we're both like, "Oh, okay." He thinks our idea
Yay.
is great. I'll never forget it. At the time, so fast forward, we realized that I guess step one was that he could build this thing, but he obviously needed help because you can't just like
Mhm.
build an entire platform from scratch without help. So this is where our first there's many God stories, like the fact that we had an idea. We never went into this saying like we should have a business doing software. This just like came up. And then our developer was like, yes, okay, so that's a God thing. And then at the time, I'm like telling my husband, well, we're going to fund it. So we're going to fund it. So like very low budget, right? Little budget. And so then tell us about what happens next with the phone call you made and the miracle of us getting that next developer.
Yeah. So our CTO, we'll call him that. That's his name, CTO. And he is a very, very seasoned backend developer. He does not have a lot of experience in front end, which he does now. He has come so far. And
Yeah, he's amazing.
also
Yeah.
teaser at the end of the show about that. But he was missing some skill sets for like database design and then as well for front end. So in the company I was working with previously, I was just doing this random catch-up call with this guy that I've known for years. And I was like, let me tell you what's going on. And this is what we're building and kind of the premise behind it, but we're lacking this. And he's like, I know a guy. I'm like, cool. So I call said guy and I'm like, hey, this is what we're building. Do you have experience in XYZ? And he's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, great. Let me tell you what I can't afford. And he's like, no problem. My girlfriend won the lottery, y'all. She won the lottery.
I forgot about that part.
Yes.
I
So
forgot.
he reduced his rate significantly for us
Mhm.
so that we could afford him, which was just
Yeah, he
such a
did.
blessing to find the person that could give us what we needed and didn't need the money behind it. And then from the front end standpoint, which was also a hole for us, Matt was on a plane, right? So Matt's a talker. He is sales like you, and he's talking to the person next to him. So unlike me, I'm the headphone person. Don't talk to me, RBF all the way, right? So Matt's talking to the person next to him and is like, this is what my wife is doing. And she happens to know someone who can build a UI for us. So we get
Crazy.
in touch with this young woman out of Vietnam and explain what we want. And she turns it around for us in days, also for pennies on the dollar. So just two significant holes that we had in our development plan to get this product to come to life. And both were filled by strangers that we didn't even know, who were just placed in our path for us at a reasonable price that we could afford in our days of trying to build a bootstrap startup. So such a blessing for us to interact with them. Of course, if we need them in the future, they'll be the ones that we call because they were just so kind to us as we went through the process.
Well, and we're still using that UI like toolkit
Absolutely.
in Figma today. I mean, everything she
Absolutely.
did, we still use.
Yep.
And that is really crazy. Like, what are the odds that my husband's on a plane, meets a lady who knows someone in Vietnam, and we get a UI designer? Because we were like, remember, we were thinking we'll just launch bare bones with pretty much no good UI and just do that later.
The original was, I mean, no offense, but it was not pretty. It wasn't stick figures. So we made progress, but it still was not, what it is today, obviously.
Well, I think those are two of the biggest like green lights that we had, fitting in a very small budget, because also you and I had never we had worked for startups, but we had never done this. So it wasn't like we had a big plan of now we want seed money and now we want this money. Like we were pretty much from the get-go thinking
we're just figuring it out.
Just figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think the next big highlight would be E20X that upcoming year, because it was huge. So,
well, and remember the Friday before E20X, my company that I was working for full time, we decided to kindly part ways. The Friday
before, the Friday before. So just it all, like, I remember being in Toronto at High Tech and we were just teasing the idea to people. And then people were like, this is a really good idea. So I called you from Toronto and said, how soon can we actually like go
Yeah.
live with this?
Yeah.
And then that fall we had our first stay in touch, was our very first verbal commitment of like, okay, we'll try this out. And then we applied to E20X in February 2024. And I remember we spent hours on that entry video. And then we got a call or an email in April that we got in. I called you crying. You were at
I
your
was at
job
work.
at the time. You were full time.
And
We were
Katie,
your
our marketing manager,
yes.
now I work with her. So
Yeah.
I'm like crying on the phone with you. She's like, what is going on? I pull her into a conference room, tell her, she's all excited. And it's so fun that like now her work with us today, she has that backstory.
Yeah. Yes. And tell us, so we get into E20X, we're like, this is insane. And for those that are watching that don't know, I mean, that's a pitch competition at High Tech. So we being a bootstrap company, I had actually prayed that we would have opportunities for free press, because that's, one of the more challenging things when you are bootstrapping. So this is, you get to be in the competition, you get a booth at High Tech, you get mentorship. Like, it's insane. It's amazing. So then tell us a little about, like, we're about to leave and we had been praying for you to be full-time with us for a while. Tell us about that, if you're willing.
So I was working full-time for a company, Affixify, on nights and weekends, fitting it in, wherever I could. I was also in school at the time. So it's like, what was I thinking? Like,
you were still in school.
I was still in school. I graduated in May of that year.
Oh my
so
goodness.
like
Yeah.
it was a whirlwind altogether. But essentially that Friday, it just happened that my company and we decided that we weren't a fit together anymore. And it, in correlation, didn't have anything to do with High Tech coming up or me going on vacation the next week, or of course the work that I've put into Affixify. It was for many, many other reasons, but it really came to be of like, oh my gosh, God plopped this out of my life to put Affixify into my life full time, right? So when I left that Friday, I called you and was like, guess what?
Yeah.
I have all the time and mental space for Affixify now. So, one of those things is, whenever you're a bootstrap startup, so, obviously we don't have paychecks coming in, and I didn't have a full-time job anymore, had just been married. My husband's like, really? So I was praying for like, can I have like some kind of contract work? And, God delivered that as well. So it's been, a happy little balance of being able to focus on Affixify while not being pulled into a full-time job, and being able to manage myself and my time to put my priority into Affixify, but still deliver on other things that can help pay our bills. And I think that's a part of it. Not every founder can come in and either get investments or have the savings to float themselves or whatever comes to be. So I think every aspect of every founder journey is unique.
Yeah. Oh, you're so right. And I think even on that note of like, and then every person that joined after was completely understanding. In fact, when I did our employee appreciation video today that you and Katie are going to push out, or Katie's going to push out. And I was saying that, like, going into being a part of Affixify's team, you are not coming in thinking like, oh, this is lucrative, because of just the nature of it being such a bootstrap startup. And so that's what I've loved about every person. We've had people come to us. I think that's the next kind of like crazy God thing that I just can't wrap my mind around, is we've had someone want to be, through you, called you and said, I want to be an assistant. Can I be your free assistant? So we had that. We've had people willing to work on commission only, people willing to work on equity only. Like, I mean, it's been a very unique setup, but we have never had someone just like make these demands. It's actually always been the opposite. It's like God brings someone in our path and they're willing to work, on a shoestring budget,
for the way,
and they believe so much in the vision that we've even had, someone on our team say, like, if you're willing to keep going bootstrapping, I'm willing to not take a paycheck because I really believe in this so much. Like, who gets that? It's just such a miracle. How it's all woven together. And then that brings us, there's actually so much, like, I feel like we're missing so much. Like, for example, meeting, people through LinkedIn, and we talk about our faith very openly. And then people will find us through our faith, and then it leads to business deals because of that, even though it doesn't, like, that's not what like people would tell you to do. But we just do it. And then, like, let's fast forward, because our time is short, to then last spring. So at that point, we're like really starting to see some traction. we're starting to see some people use the platform for tech decisions, starting to see vendors get some deals. And then should I share what's next, or how do we lead into what happened in
part
April?
of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So then last April, we were still at a point where we're trying to grow this. And I reached out to someone, and no names on this, obviously, but just like someone that we've known from our past that is still in our industry. And the whole conversation premise was like, we want to show you what we're doing for your advice.
And we've done that for several people. Like we
Yeah.
really just want the input from the industry. We want to make sure we're doing the right thing. So take all the free advice we can get.
We love it. And people, I mean, like, also been another thing is how many people have wanted to just drop everything and mentor and help us because they believe in what we're doing.
Yep.
So then I'm on this, I was at your house. That happened to be a day that I was just
Yeah.
And you're in your kitchen and I was in your office.
Yep. Yeah. Because you wanted to have the whole backdrop and everything and not be in my kitchen.
Yeah. I had your backdrop right there.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling our friend, here's Affixify. What are your thoughts? And their response was like, without basically saying like this specific company needs this. And so it started because of one phone call. It started this conversation of like, how many more people need this, what we're about to talk about. And thus the idea was birthed of a second product.
Yep.
And the last 9 months, we haven't really talked about this, have been spent very much wearing two hats, partially growing current Affixify and then partially creating a new product. And in that, we have had the craziest amount of pipeline built for a product not even fully live because of people yet again coming our way saying, do you do this? We need this. Would you add to that? Like, is that an accurate?
No, that's totally accurate. I think the biggest piece is when you think about product development, and especially when we think about how long it took for OG Affixify to get from concept to a product that we could put our hands into, right? That was years. And I think because obviously we're all working full time, babies, the whole thing, right? Our lives happened while we were doing it. For this second product, the idea formation, we spent kind of last summer figuring out requirements. What does it look like? Okay. And then in fall, we're like, how are we going to ever pull this off? How are we going to build a second product? We have to remain focused on Affixify. We are growing Affixify. Development needs to be on Affixify. Like this is where we're going. And so we had a call. It was like the day after my birthday, so early December. And we're talking to our CTO and we're like, hey, we really need to kind of figure out a timeline of when we think that we could deliver this product so that we can start building that pipeline. And he's like, yeah, cool. Let's settle on like end of February. Yeah. No. His schedule was cleared. He developed the whole thing over the holiday break. He came back to us New Year's Eve and was like, here you go. Here's your sandbox. And we're like, wait, what? So we got to actually test and we've been working on that for probably the last 30, 60 days, being able to make sure like the use cases are all there. It's had its own enhancements since then, which is amazing. Very minimal bugs. Like it's a full grown product and you don't get that in 2 weeks. Like it very much was just a signal to us again, that we are on the right path. We're doing the right things. We're listening, we're following our cues, and it came to fruition.
Yeah. It's so true. I mean, we were like, this is a Christmas gift to us. And I think too, because, and the cool part about this next product we're going to announce is like, it incorporates what he already did. It incorporates the Affixify algorithm and all of that in a new type of environment. And like I had said to you yesterday on the phone, I mean, this is clearly part of our next step. So we're just like praying then for the next step, right? Of like releasing it and getting it out there. And we have multiple prospects already, kind of like waiting on it. It has been crazy. It is really unbelievable to see an idea before the zoo all the way to like second product. We're prepping for the release, and this product will no longer limit us to hospitality, to be honest. In the long run, we love hospitality, so we're not leaving, but like this product can service many people. And it all just started from a little seed planted.
Yeah. I don't think we should actually say what it is. What if
you don't?
I don't know. What if we keep people guessing for the next 30 days and maybe in the next rundown, we kind of go over what the next product is, the core concepts of it. Just to keep people on the edge of their seats.
So we're gonna tease this then. We're not gonna announce it.
Sorry,
I mean,
guys.
I think, yeah, sorry. Well, that's okay because I think that, we still have to figure out that very different than starting the first product where we had to go out consistently, like I'm still like every day, half of my day is just telling people about Affixify all the time. But this has been different because people came to us. And so now it's like we have to balance like servicing them first and then going out to the rest of the world. And what does that look like? And it's actually like a very nice problem to have.
It is very different.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, we let someone down.
Sorry,
Okay.
Brian.
Maybe we need to can we give some kind of teaser?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So we'll come out with a full announcement, but essentially this is going to be an area where large corporate groups, companies, brands, management companies, restaurants, you name it, people that are managing many vendors can leverage Affixify in a creative way to manage those vendors and find those vendors. I think that's a good teaser. Yeah.
I like it.
Servicing the much larger market.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's, from my process brain, it is very much a process driven product to still help with the discovery. Like you said, original Affixify algorithm is in it, right? We're not taking away our core premise of what we're trying to do for this industry or any to come. It's just a matter of like, there's additional pieces in this that will really be able to help people know their stages, where they're at, what's happening, and run their business.
Yeah, it's a very different model too, because we're a membership model. So our users pay one way or the other, they pay a membership, whether that's a listing fee or a annual membership on the buyer side, it's a very different model. This is a subscription. It's a monthly product that will be used every single day as an operational tool for our clients. So I think it's fun because lately on my calls, I am telling people about what we call OG because we can't figure out the difference of naming yet. But I'll tell them about, original Affixify, and then I tell them about new product. And every single call is different. So some people, like last week, I had someone say, like, I'm not watering down your original product. That sounds cool, but we really want to see the new product. That's the fit for us. And then other people, I've had someone tell me like, I'm really not interested in that other one. Thanks for telling me, but I want to like dive into this. So that's actually kind of fun too, is we're figuring out who we're going to service with.
Yeah, it's awesome. They each have their own unique customer base. So now, we had a problem with, we have several types of customers between vendors, consultants, hoteliers, right? Like now we've introduced a whole other customer type. So we'll have to figure out our language and our marketing and how we speak to all of this, but it's very exciting. And for me, it's so fun to see something else come to life and like be able to hopefully very, very soon have users interact with it and get the feedback on that one. Like that's always so fun for me.
I can't wait. And tell us this. So before we leave, I've been trying to ask, sometimes our conversations run over on the show, but each week I ask our guests, like, what was their aha moment with their company? So I want to ask you, like, I know I didn't tell her I was going to ask her this. I never tell. What was your aha moment where you were like, or maybe maybe you can choose.
I think my aha moment for like, this is real and people believe in it the same way we do. And I think I've said this before in an article or something, is that we've got, really big names engaging with us, well-known names in the industry. And on the other side, that there's companies that we partner with, vendors that we partner with that are trying to branch into the US, and we can be a part of their journey. Like we are now supporting other people. And I remember when we started Affixify, we were so honored by all of the support we received to help us build our brand. And now we get to pay that back in a way. And it's so fun to be able to see somebody else's company kind of not necessarily skyrocket because of us. Like we would never take credit, but that we're able to bring other products into the US market because that's primarily where our customer base is.
That's actually a very good point. Like the number of kind of like people we've helped, number of buyers we've helped discover new tech that maybe that tech company wouldn't have been able to get in front of them at the time. I think
they didn't even know they existed. And I know you've said it a number of times, like whenever your buyers are coming through and Wendy Norris said it the other day, whenever she was working with us of, I didn't even know that was there. That was the premise. That was why this was built, right? So being able to really prove that use case out, like that shows that we did something right. And I think, it means time well spent for the last
Yeah.
5 years or whatever
Yeah.
it's been.
A lot of years. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, it's so true. I think that's exactly right. And I mean, to me, it's probably been the number. It's not even like a few people. It's like the sheer number of people that tell us you're actually solving a real problem. You're solving a real problem. Well,
Yeah.
you've hit the nail on the head. But I had someone tell me just yesterday that their PMS decision was what did they say? They were traumatized. They were traumatized or scarred or something because of how
Gosh.
hard it was and like in the context of, oh wow, okay, someone can help me make that
If
decision
I'd have
now.
known. Yeah.
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 So it's definitely exciting. We're very honored for, where we've come. And I think it's good to just paint the picture a little bit about who we are and all the pieces of the puzzle that are coming together. And we certainly have not like made it. We have a long way to go, but it's
Yeah.
been one of the most exciting things. And you're even like you're like judging a pitch competitions or you're judging.
Um,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so essentially for the last 2 years, I've participated with Boston University. They do an in hospitality innovation competition. And so I love it. I mean, and I think of these people as kids. I know they're not kids. I went to
Yeah.
college as an adult, right? I was 40. Don't tell anybody. So it's one of those things where it's like I get to watch their
Yeah.
concept come to
Yeah.
life. They write up, they do a video. Here's my concept, my audience, what my go to market plan is, my pricing. And I'm like, this is amazing. I give them feedback on the goods and I poke holes in what they're missing because they go
Yeah.
on to the next round. There's a whole actual in person, which I can't be there because it's in Boston, but an in person round that they do, and the winner gets 50 grand. So it's like very, very awesome for them. And I love being a part of it. It's fun for me to be able to engage from that level, especially, given our experience here. The other thing I wanted to note, it just came to mind of like, it was no accident that you joined Digital Alchemy after college. Like
No.
that's how this whole
No.
thing started.
Yeah,
So
that's such a good
of course we
point.
built a friendship through that, but then this wouldn't have happened if that wouldn't have happened. So, it just kind of our journey goes decades at this point.
I met you 14 years ago this month.
It's wild.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And when I met Stephanie, I will never forget. First impressions are everything, right? So I came in, I was interviewing at our former company for an internship. And I went in, I interviewed, they brought me around to you. I gave you my information, you gave me your card. For whatever reason, because I was in sales, you were just doing everything. So they were like, you guys talk to Stephanie. You need to talk to Stephanie. And I was driving back to Waco to school. So I thought, because me being who I am, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to follow up with her the second I get back to school today so that I can impress her and be the first person to follow up. And I opened my email and you had freaking emailed me already.
I won.
I never told you this. And I was like, oh, shoot. And
That's
so
hilarious.
I emailed you. And then, I started at that company as an intern like 3 months later. And 2 days after I graduated college, and you actually were the only one. People were at a conference and they told me to wear a suit. And I came in like a full business, and you guys were in jeans and t-shirts and shorts. And then you told me I could go home and change, which was really sweet. And then you told me, no one's here to help train you. And so why don't you just come back in a week? And I was like, no, I want to learn. And then eventually over time, like our positions became equal. But for a long time, you were like way, way up on the food chain from me, but we somehow built a really good friendship.
It's fun.
Do that.
Very
And
fun.
we helped sell that company together. We helped our CEO sell.
And I think about like our
thing.
age gap, but then as well, like our life gaps, right? Like my kids are grown. My son's getting married, right? And you've got babies at home and toddlers and second graders, right? So it is one of those things. It's like in normal course of life, we wouldn't have intertwined.
Probably not.
Because
yeah.
the way that our lifestyles are from a day-to-day activity perspective, of course, our values are the same, but from a day-to-day activity, I'm not going to be in a play group. Like my kids aren't going to little gym.
Like play groups. That ain't my thing. Yeah, no, but that's actually a really good point because, I mean, God had to really weave that together to where I think we also have we've had trauma bonding in our years in our careers, which we won't go into, but like, I mean, we've really gone through some things. And I think we've like at our old company, like we had to work through things together. We had a problem solved together. And then when you're up on we didn't plan to talk about this, but like when you're up selling someone else's company for them, like we were doing the presentations, that's a scary thought. You're like,
very intimidating.
Right. And then we got really close through that. And then you're the reason I started consulting, because you asked me, like, do you want to do some side work? Like, it's just crazy how it all came to be.
Yeah,
You're so right. Awesome. Yeah. Because you had kids my kids' age when I met you, and I was fresh out of college. Yeah. I was like, I'm moving to Chicago. I don't want to be in, Fort Worth.
Here you are.
Here I am.
Burleson.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm never staying here. I hate Texas. Sorry. But I love it. I love our story. I am so grateful for you. Stephanie may not be, I'm always on LinkedIn. I'm always the one talking because that's just my thing. But she does so much. She keeps us afloat in many, many ways. So
thank you.
It's a great partnership. And I'm so excited to see where we're headed.
It's a great journey.
I know. So 1 month until we officially announce the end product. Yeah. We just decided.
Just keep people curious.
If you really want to know, reach out. We'll tell you privately. But thank you, Steph, for joining us.
Of course. Happy to. It was fun.
We will have you back probably around high tech time. We're already preparing for that. If you guys
3 months away.
I know. If you're not connected with Stephanie or you don't follow her on LinkedIn. Connect with her. If you're a vendor, she is our vendor queen. So she vets all of our tech providers. She can listen to your pitch. She can talk to you.
I love it.
Thank you. And we will be back next week with Stacey Lawson. She's VP of Sales over at Stay in Touch. And her topic is around what you should expect from vendors, but why they don't always deliver. And it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Interesting.
So we will be back next Wednesday. Thank you all for joining us. Talk soon.
Bye.